This is Kessben 93.3 FM, a new wave of excellence in radio.
Andy Kerm, say yeah.
You know, I'm not going
Yeri yankopo ase. Afina Naro. Ochi ndi later. Meko no so. Yensha se free here no pay. And pay yensha se free in some PP clubs no need the players ni bi ni papa and ni bi dia to dwan and san about Champions League games no and media can be say me share say e dey free Tony Cruz in some of the two dwan. Okay, thank God not all players look only at salary but also at winning. Tony Cruz takes aim at Premier League money chasers and England's lack of European success after ex-Real Madrid teammate Casemiro joined Manchester United on £375,000 a week.
You know,
so no kind not just
no
money na be disikachi. Ebinum dream winning. Na England dey no maye. Ewo e ka Champions League success mo na nsan mo asisi omu nyina ho no bia episode na ni ko kire. Nya omu nyina de dosika. Omu bi dey win ne here omu.
Of Germany.
You know.
Of Germany.
Yes, Tony Cruz enti comment to home.
Don't go start an amen.
Oh, the numbers am can say of Germany. Ni krum honum. Yenhwe na nankanso a yenhwe ofase. E ma me nuaba e me bisa yisika. Wanya adwuma kra ye to aduane ma odi. Kofu free Brazil. E bi fi Africa. Nti obetuma ka de oka.
Wow. Titia, mamiti also there.
Baby, I was starting why na me say free. You know, abrabona aye bono. Where you were raised, your upbringing. Baby, aye wo family wo free. Baby, we adwuma. The talent ahead of you, the next platform ahead of you. Inipa obeshia mo on the way. Emma wo decision making eye key. Minim Ghana ni oti abrochire. Onya adwuma. Ne maye mienu, bosumi bia oje 700 euros. Bosumi bia ne manifesto oje 700 euros. Sevanko ye conversion ne mame. Bosumi bia 700 euros en oje ne wa abrochire o. Onya adwuma bia. Ne nyina so so le no de ne mane ko school. Ye ha bi o ha. Wan hwe aye do be kotafo asi ye nche kura. So so onya adwuma. It the where Tony Cruz come from clearly different. Moreover, Omo taking all these decisions are key men from South America. Now, for example, talk about Obedi Casemiro. This is a player in Sao Paulo. Time Brazil winning under 20 in 2011. On the mate, Danilo, Alessandro, Neymar, Felipe Coutinho, and all those guys and Omo making in Europe. He was a bench player in Sao Paulo. Joined the Real Madrid Castilla. You know. Ono ne maame ne papa mu nyina da ba akum no musie e Brazil. And then imagine say ne obewo na o ma ba ako di no a maame papa na o maka ho na se Franco mote dai ba akum. One room e na mu manage e wo ho. Na obenya chance to play for Real Madrid. Na obe win the Champions League makum ako 5. No obi so o move from 200,000 euros a week to 350,000 pounds a week. After winning everything, the only thing left for Casemiro to win it is the World Cup. He has won everything. Copa America under 20, UEFA Champions League 5. The next line of action is Sika. And Africa and South America for no omu Sika no, you know, omu demanding more no. Omu demanding because of where they came from. Baby, omu free buy it in a moment demand this, enye bibi entia. And we have other Europeans too, omu yes, sir. Garibe said an omu di Chadeka. How much are they paying Kylian Mbappe? Enti Genoa, Tony Cruz in Yanko Pabuano. Ni I won the baby pano or baby free German abruchi mama. Genoa hodie. Utifina and Segu Huna create Mitiaka. The system in South America, the system in Africa is clearly different. Or if we come born, you know, a Quaco Real Madrid Champions League 5. No, be so moving at 350,000 pounds a week. I think you should look at winning. No, Sikanya very, very important. Casemiro will say, 31 years next year. And then Aka Obabe achieve in the European game. Okay. The rest any Sika. Now talk about England phoning in this case. What are the European sources? Remember the phone almost so much spend and in recent times or Matiada and Omutimi achieve. Time on 32 years without the champions, dear no me and son Omutimi back. And me for coach cry. After Ramon Cadron before team 10 years. No Muntimi no Fiorentino Perez Bayano. He spent 200 million euros for Karim Benzema, Kaka, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Mesut Ozil. Sika almost spent the buy no. And then Hazard no microphone on the theatre. No, how much are they paying him? How much were they paying Garibay? Into general, for you to chase European sources, it is about money. Why didn't the Italians team compete with you? The last time Italian team won the Champions League, way back in 2010. 12 years down the line, the Italian teams cannot compete. Why? Because they don't have money to compete with the English teams. They don't have money to compete with the Spanish teams. Barcelona call off. Within a short time, Momo back and send on spending in the market. Send on call for Julius Conde. Send on call for Rafinha. Send on call for Lewandowski. They know it is about money. In the English class, no, they cannot be like Real Madrid. But Liverpool is Barcelona home. And if you want to achieve, if you want to compete, you must say time and Manchester City in PSG Tifem no muntu sikangu you no mutimi compete say. Were they playing the Champions League final? Were they consistent in the semi-final? No. Italians are not competing because of money. In the English teams, no, so mu be compete general. Just so mu disika wuramu.
But some of them say Man City, Manchester United, and Chelsea. Omo enda a boast to the most costly squads. Omi and Sao Kabuma.
Over
2.5 billion pounds.
Yes.
Ne PSG.
Yeah.
Any Barcelona, Madrid, anyone when young kone sa teams there were England.
Yeah.
2.5 billion pounds. The three of them.
Yes. Three teams
in
now.
This Kessben also on find Shima and San much menya.
What is Ganishema? What is Ganishema take it time? Mario Dominic Ganisha say she say 2009, 2010. And I Fiorentino Perez by year on winning Champions League. It took them 4 years. And San on Kwakoji or Portugal. And it's all this Ganishema. And it's all this Ganishema no in a success no. Chelsea much as you're spending say 2002, 2003. You played your first Champions League final in 2008. It took Chelsea 5 years. PSG Chartier spending in 2011. They played the Champions League final in 2019, 2020. You know, it take you how many years? 9 years. And it's all this can you Roma. And yet all this can you Roma no achieve. It take years. Are we saying Barcelona is going to win the Champions League this year? No, it will take time. A bet me see once. But you know, anything be we as be at all started say oh spend here. And it's all spend here and unless but it takes time. And sana what me achieve success. The English teams no. You know, almost as yes or no. How are they competing? We should look at that. You bought Champions League final, semi-final near England 4 near England 4-4. You think it is because of accident? No, it is because they spend within the market. That is why the English clubs are so competitive. The pedigree, the character, the quality materials. Real Madrid present any pedigree, any achievement. A bad answer the English clubs not to. But for you to competitive in the game, you need to spend, and it is the reason why the English teams are spending.
Good morning. For Tony Kroos is talking out of ignorance. This individual preference, he needs to understand success without money is still useless. He should keep mute because everybody sees things differently based on the background. So do remember what Sir Franco Naro said. If you are an ugly man, what's up to be a daddy bro? Rodal can come Accra or the way and so Abba. Wow, on the move. Now, poor bad who for this of this guy. And as he says, and the do we are okay.
Man, Kessben when move.
Also, when you fair. Now, when you first one move, Anna man, another bro. Obi a oni mu nya fa ni woni mu.
Wo betime fa no nka o ye.
Yes, and info na kasa mo utp. Miano. I want to treat.
I told you how to make us you. Say this because you, but yes.
It's okay.
Uber church, Chicas.
When you Chicas, where general knowledge.
Oh, okay.
So we went to our
okay. Yeah.
But you know,
okay.
but you know, from the bigger picture, still on Tony Cruz matter. Quickly on that, Serango. Why are Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa are not competing? Another one. Your time I see na you grown. You better Deportivo La Corona. Omoe. Now you fan narrow it down to yeah. There be a kotokone how to for the internet woman in Africa. It's not because of money. It is money. It didn't know Alimo, Sundowns, TP Mazembe, Esperance, Wak of Morocco consistently. Roger Casablanca, RS Bekeni, Champions League who more Confederation. So money say me some do find a why. It is money. Se nyanko pon shiraw na genua uchusu say what the obe rene because of baby afra. Ye ni na Zaki Kobo Vegan Athletics sabet na Egypt. Abrana team si Chelsea ni bebrebe. That be enti genua
I didn't know some time ago China. Omuni sika chuchu di wure ma. Na sika omuni top players no dwene ho ko ase omunye normal. Normal man fanya hwe.
They couldn't sustain it. Enti na make catch us say utu sika no guma. And yes, all to go man or renew. Until I may say, Chelsea shall spend it take you 6 years. Real Madrid for now, my main factor on the cruise now. Fiorentino press by Obefa Ronaldo ne Kaka. And Benzema. Benzema in the first season they wanted to sack him. And now I'm fan and working you. From 2010 they won it in 2014. 4 years.
Okay.
In the general, the first I was Chelsea to Sikani Gumuna. Yes, or to Gumuna no win. It take time.
Even Oscar left Chelsea for money in China. Tony Cruz must understand money stops every nonsense. Yaya, awa, edi abanano.
China, you know.
Yeah.
Now I got the picture clearer when Nana Samojan ever called China.
Yeah.
Onya offer ni bibia, the first person he called was Didier Drogba.
Okay.
Obeka at that time, na Drogba called China as a free honumaba. Drogba advice on the man Samuel Jan was that on making sure say one Sikana in contract nimino or budget to do now from day one. 2 on function says for 3 months omuntua ne car automatically the contract terminates. Drogba says ani man me no boa no man itimi dani free China. Then the question followed up say why is he saying that? Or say Come for players na nkasa no ubana se wuji se skana na ho yo mahi nti ball no komo pass bi ma nti afa obo e no mbese attack watwitwaw wo ye superstar na akosa nti bo se obo ba akum yenu miensa na afa go ni ma no mu ntua woka nti those two things no na esa wo ye na mo nya kon afri wako. So Chinese ni mpanyimfo no this occasion the big boys na eba no the local guys no were not giving the respect they deserve. Uba who said the foreigner no esika no about 10-15 times most of the playing mates no edge enti no maganget yaw. But over England it's not like that. Even the English boys are paid far better than ebiko omo talent any the omo give. So in England it is working because the local boys are being taken care of properly. Omo hwe omo yie no makofa ahwo no nso so de aba fra.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why China the Namfa by England it's working.
I hope all is well with you and your unbeatable panelists. This is just to appreciate you and the entire crew for your work ethics to make us happy every morning. Keep it up, and please, I would like to know, when are you going back with a picture of the day via YouTube? Because some of your viewers don't have Facebook accounts. I'll be glad if you read my message. Kessben all the way. Osei yaw ochre una wadi we abre oski Kenya si Kumasi una wadi abre yebeko YouTube sa na ifri ha na ekwa denche yeba YouTube so why oski minim se yeba Champions League games na other stories so
Tony Cruz na miya shira na nyankopon ase na ufri mi kro ma o se wonji se ska you know
Wow.
my uncle Champions League now
Okay,
you can say
okay.
you can Tony Cruz for you know
Sadio Mane say ono sika ho no odwen o so da bia sori anopa kwan a ni kromfo bambali ana ni one friends so bambali yes so bia obi be sori a come din no tia na bibi ya no
ya be ka tira ne se papa ya
bia sori anopa o ni kromwa no ne duane di na adwen oda odwen no
to see growth one my so no pesca
biska befia ba be mankofo adi
onya sa
you know original park so bobo ya be ka tira ne papa ya onye scan fa no ko hospital so ko abroji na se fanko em do ya da hokra yetim di ambulance be fa kokko okwa
ba be fa
mewa yesi nipa no kura awu amu amuti onyi na na hwekra asem beto yeah wo da fam ne abuza se wuti carry antani am abedi
okay
you know a situation with yam fana braka yeah hanu people in do and accept that wuti carry antani am abedi Tony Cruz on fa hakakra o fa ha saso no kan on
bed no grade na say ayiwu ye wache na mame dok no bu fuye something ko be 3-4 hospitals oduru ba bia si bed ni ho no mo sa tu ni ko ha bed ni ho odini ko ha bed ni ho nti omo na aku wache yosin
Tony Cruz
na bu fu papa
yes
yes
no ko downtown
no na Naro kan no ni krum ho nya djuma kura odidi
me se bia dey o kokura what team you know what team and a Champions League night na you know from Stade de France ye move to the Ataturk Stadium and on the 2023 Bebo Champions League final no last season by a repetition of the last time in 2006 Champions League na yes host in France ye made Spain in Barcelona versus Arsenal. The last time it was another English and Spanish opposition in Madrid and then Liverpool. Ataturk MIA other games are very familiar and we are hoping so these teams are almost spending on at least almost bet me I get a chance to enjoy the Olympic Stadium in Istanbul. Games to be na Airbaso na me be quick na me the match of the day no anthem Vinicius Junior interview so here Celtic form are just on form and so 25 goals scored in the league and the kind of matches or more bono but run against Madrid are almost here on form and from last season in the Champions League BBC the Spanish La Liga and the performance of the room so only you can only think and now make sure say defensively obet me cover ye just to stop the attack and Rodrigo Shenano Vinicius Shenano Karim Benzema and check but so watch your Madrid team now so only Celtic and police so much threat they will be in for an asset but defensively omo now be expected to omo be adwuma BBB the recent form of Madrid no entre so omo look back Carlo Ancelotti the adanadi so omo hwe so omo betimi asan adi defend the Champions League no and if you want to defend the Champions League these are games with mere formality. Anything can happen, but Celtic should be worried as to how our backline in Juvanovic, Abranti, your friend Pektovic, over here, they say McGregor, formerly of Crystal Palace, Craig Taylor, and all those guys, be available to make sure best stop the Real Madrid attack. It is a game for Madrid and Genoa. This is a game I'm expecting a win for a team, a friend Real Madrid. Manchester City room or the Ramon Sanchez to page 1 and the recent form any the number of goals as Sevilla conceded in the Spanish La Liga. Macas almost struggle to replace the two center backs on Mokoeno. Into Bono Muboni almost tries on baby Bia, but then Kuyi. They have options in midfield and attack. Now Juma Joan Jordan and Fernando Rogers Moba. Omoye Juma, you will few glimpses from Isco in the game against Barcelona. But one thing clear, they say when it comes to the Champions League in the group stage, Macase teams are in recent times by Manchester City and then team a friend of Bayern Munich. And you playing against Manchester City, Abra will defense in your day. No, I already said you should be ready and ready to concede. Rafael May among the earnest remove tries or mobile me a baby at your Manchester City. City will be going with a certain players, but I still think they have the materials and the quality in there to beat team my friend Sevilla. Ramon Sanchez to page 1. Chelsea against Zagreb. Zagreb would the Champions League who's Omaba. they are just like Olympic Lyonnais. A deal no more deba about to say yes in recent time. Talent no more deba. Near share coin on first room. And the coin on first on make it on best sell certain players to the European teams. Into say a catcher or say Matthew Kovacic, Massimo Brozovic, Dejan Lovren, Sami Vitelko, Luka Modric, Mario Mandzukic, and all those players. A graduate from Dynamo Zagreb, but you know, a whole lot of players in the free, and a Mokobu teams are only a chance to play for the top teams in Europe. So I show my team now almost 2 years. You bet me Chelsea in the absence of Thiago Silva, Edouard Mendy contractual issues. Almost say Denis Zakaria or Abrante friend Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang bet me yes I can. So team Matthew Kovacic, Ninsemo Kaya, or see Omania striker hoping. So bet me among 20 to 25 goals a season. And if Chelsea want to stay and compete in the Champions League, to say they almost do the last time and probably go beyond that there, then the stage is set for them against Zagreb. Zagreb any opposition now be expect to say omo be ha Chelsea ebebrebe, and with the new certain players coach na put omo on the block obe expect say several competition meet me abem because they be changing the setup na a bit ama certain players about be room, and those players on be room you expect them so omo bet me IBB just to maintain and defend their position within the squad.
Chelsea must beat Dinamo Zagreb or the pressure will mount on Thomas Tuchel.
I agree. I agree. Say last week game, West Ham game was a difficult one, a tight one. Maso Kona equalizer before VR ruled it out. So ball against Dynamo Zagreb, but they are a huge favorite. You don't expect any upset. Chelsea cannot be inconsistent in this aspect. Into be expected say game we are huge favorite. Be a bit yesterday, but I agree. Thomas Tuchel and me and we need this particular game there. Any game being beating Harry. A game that I think Chelsea will win. Now the big game, PSG versus Juventus.
Yeah.
Leandro Paredes ever returning to Parc des Princes, and PSG team 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw. Coach FN Christophe Galtier about system to a 3-5-2 team, and no dear room, and the unit and the balance now very clear in the 6 games on my bono. So team Mauricio Pochettino or see PSG obsessed with the Champions League. Into your coach, that's one to me and Yano Pamo. The coach will never be scrutinized based on the performance in the Ligue 1, but the Champions League. A whole will be a coach, Marco Fanny. And we only any Champions League history and record, but a Juma or more experts or did me baby, you know, and then Jania or Chassis any year. Yahusa Neymar or form, Yahusa Mbappe or form, Yahusa Lionel Messi or form. Into Obia, so almost on my fairly time and again in the Champions League. I'll be especially on the Paris Saint-Germain, baby. You know, the last time ended in an embarrassment after dominating the first 45 minutes at the Santiago Bernabeu. Where the no last season in the group stage of the Champions League, no almost struggle kakra. But this is a Juventus sider. Almost the last time, no, almost in the group stage they did well, except the humiliation almost konya it was Stamford Bridge and the kind of embarrassment that the yellow Sam Arides at the Breomo turin. We a game of Juventus almost in the Syrian almost struggle kakra. 3 draws and 2 wins no matter. Things are not well for Mazi Allegri, and it's likely say game we Obelus the goalkeeper. Bonucci will be back to pair Bremer, and Bremer is not lucky. The fair journey in the Champions League, he is meeting arguably the best 3 in the game, and any more share over expect say at least Obe pair the experienced Bonucci just to make sure he will stop the attack of team friendly PSG. Alessandro Danilo are available, and again I think Juve will strike a kaka in terms of midfield. Renato Sanchez, Marco Verratti likely to start in central midfield for Paris Saint-Germain. Juan Bernat and Achraf Hakimi likely to start from the wing back row. Into Beba Beye Paredes Obe tries Obe prove point to be, and nipa bebrebe ekasa omon tia say PSG Paredes mu an koye Weston McKennie to support him, and then Lukateri we money the midfield using the last game. And apart from Paredes Ebano, Senkarabia or on the Belgian in that consistent midfield of Juventus and attack, no Cuadrado, Kostic, and then Dusan Vlahovic, Sergio Ramos, Marcos Marquinhos Correa, and the personal campaign by Juma Moyano, Abrante FN Dusan Vlahovic. You know he just on form, and will be a wire consistent from Fiorentina to Juventus. The firepower from Jubeno, Federico Chiesa into no more chance or the Bibia Ebeba. But this is a game PSG need to win and send a signal. Say last season I'm going, but this time almost beat me IBB to redeem their image in the Champions League. It's a close one, but you know I think the PSG is in a better position to win this particular game, and we are expecting the front three. So I'm beat me a conjure magic and there Parc des Princes. A win for Paris Saint-Germain, probably 2-1, and I'm for PSG.
Okay, Emrano ko entino yentimi nko hobebre ma Demor Kalaga edin sembi atudwa kakra bi se gamo adwenche kakra bi ho anafi yentu adwumede no eso Tony Cruz only want to be heard. If Real Madrid propose 40,000 a week, will he be playing at Madrid today? He must also talk about his salary. Dr. Siama etimetimasi and so Bray. Okay. Yentie a retired Irish referee Demot Callagher and send me ode atu edwa na say your comment kakra bia enso yaka ede afa.
You know, I wouldn't expect when I was a referee in the Premier League, you know, if I'm upset, I wouldn't expect to be held out to dry on a Monday morning. I would expect to be told and advised. But, you know, I was going to go on to say that suspending a referee at the Premier League, you know, for making a mistake, in my view, isn't a wise thing because, A, it does him no good. It just does him no good whatsoever.
And someone
it sends out the wrong...
And I'm say Naro, what been chebi kakra bi fa ho suspending a referee in the Premier League for making a mistake is no wise thing. just had a course of
yeah, you could have had the because had the rest of the season.
One mistake, rest of the season. 6 matches. We have a crabby 6 matches. Or say enye ade papa.
Yeah. First
my entire country are workers enye ade papa no. Na minim so ne yadwa Demot Callagher bio.
Hang their players out to dry. You know, I wouldn't expect when I was a referee in the Premier League isn't a wise thing because A, it does him no good. It just does him no good whatsoever. It sends out the wrong message to his colleagues, and then you have the knock-on effect that if they say, well, we're going to give you a game in Division 1 next week because you know, you've got to get your form back. He goes to a game in Division 1, and the players will say, well, hang on, why are we stuck with you?
That's
you know,
fair enough,
so it's a very, very difficult situation. I think what you've got to do, you've got to manage these guys, rotate them, and get the guys refereeing at top games who are in form.
It's a debate times last week, last season. No, a couple of times. Now, me position, and it says a referee need to know anya. Instead of Bekasi be cry about 8 matches go off now after 8 matches brano. And then Maudi a lower division and as a lower tier competition. One yard e be America to be binanye inti ko asia on my hodie ni hobebri a hodie standard no form kakra inti kodi o hone pick up nebra a better sense e bema watenafi. Me, I would prefer that. We are not the free honoma. Ya jatum time and again. Say referees no. Omo ye nipa o. Ti say the goalkeeper, footballers ne ade no. Ah, omo so yem funso. Enti indeed. Say obi yem funso ba ko na obetwe na so sa. Na che say wo ye the human aspect of the person no efrim. Ade ba ko so ne say obi so be bisa say te o ka say a difficult situation. Nipa no so hwie. Obey ne den na de ma ye krom ha de ne ye west ne say ye de ne de edu ba bia ya na bra dwene ntiase so say ntiakwai eye sapa no wasa anaso washeda bibi na influence ne man ye sa de no because anaso expose any ade nim dada na kire say referees ni bi sheda pa out of some interest no washeda ko sisi obi say ni pa no de me say if wohwe na wo say nya one mistake boapaye pa no ahye da say obesisi obi based on some interest there then say nipa ni yin free referee mu kura me any problem but where you don't have sufficient grounds to say interest be and na waba eba be execute nemum genuine mistake there as say careful near manage omo
okay
ubahwe mu a It will be an saying, Omasha says, and especially the FIFA referees. Sometimes they do protect them. Yeah, they before say, I don't know protective FIFA referees. FIFA badge, you know, and it's easy. If you're a referee, I invest so much in the person. I go through all the processes, I gather the experience and the knowledge. Maybe a genuine mistake be now we question as one man FIFA badge, you know, and who can yana affect your mind. A can be na almost all tournament. Ubehena Ghana referee room. Say you FIFA referees, you know, the more you FIFA channel, the more I know your international competition.
Yeah, okay. Also, a more referee nankasa development.
Yes.
Number 2, respect as a players in the idea, a sa referee a tico players in Moonibium, society, no, and Maoyenum, sa, man for games, yeah. They are affecting referee who can't be brave. The emperor quite for
Ebi omusika na go matia na.
Emperor quite for say yes suspending the full glaive of beyond there. And more referees in development cry. Referee about who cut it in a drew level be. But I said also can do baby.
Sometimes how shout him say akwana bazo obeye adwuma. Obeye business na akọ.
And no say so be hwe hu. Bit my hwe hu.
Also, no look come do betima kasa because ya na me nka say hono clean.
Yeah.
But ube be a mistake ba ku bi, e bi a mienu bi. But you come and say referee gina ho pa ball ni nipa net box no age penalty. So, eno sa ne dey Joe. Si ye gina free referee mu kura me miss one.
So the idea be the same team by.
Ube we no na enam mfum so nti na team bi ko relegation ye yi ono su coach ade o. Ni akase coach we ono so on the cover team we didn't call relegation. And as much as we don't want to embarrass you, no. You also ending up embarrassing somebody and then making sure so be so breadwinner and say we papa and so losing a juma.
Young fancy have so later.
You know, you look at deliberate and the mistake. So referee fail to interpret rules ubetimi dia chene kakra. But the ujina wa no ujina. You try to be 18 boss, no ade akosi 18.
No achi ball.
No ade akọ, and you have the line 1-2 supporting him.
Media money can fight sir.
Yes, a typical example. We can give other example. Ni wo dia na elimination size match.
Yeah.
You try to be enemy say red card for player no ku try. Referee ni mo mama dey try na yellow card.
Any mistake?
And ojina ho any mistake.
Young Cobra. Now